Well, my friends, this is the day that we send it on the timber frame. It's an exciting day because we're going to be getting after some knee braces. Now, I do need to throw out a couple of disclaimers here, maybe one specific disclaimer. I'm not a timber framer. I'm just getting into timber framing. I'm starting with a 12 by 16 tool shed, really. It might end up being an outdoor office one of these days, I'm not sure. But what I've been doing over this last summer is I've been milling up some wood, letting it sit so that it can twist and warp a little bit, and then I can come back over it with the sawmill and get that perfectly flat, perfectly sized. The wood that you see behind me, I either milled up or I picked up. And so I'm going to throw all of that back onto the sawmill over the coming days and try to get things much more square than they currently are, as well as get things perfectly dimensioned. Specifically today, we're working on those knee braces and I'm ready to get started. I'm getting the mill going right now. It's over here to my left. I got to fuel it up. I got to get it ready to go, run back home, grab a blade and put that on there and get the tractor as well, and then we'll be good to go. So I hope you stay tuned. All right, so we've done a couple of important things off camera, and we made ourselves a couple of jigs. Now, the first one that I made was this one here, and actually just finished it up today. And you can see that this is a jig that is meant specifically for the sawmill. And I'm going to clamp this to the mill itself. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the braces and we're going to make some important cuts by using this jig. And this is representing a brace for now. And so when this jig is on the mill, we'll set the brace right on there and we'll be able to make these cuts right here so that we can carve out our inch or so that will then be fixed into, whether we're talking about the posts or the tie beams or wherever that particular brace is going to be going. So that's going to help us get that 45-degree angle. Now, the interesting thing about that is I have seen many guys timber frame over the years on YouTube and watching different fellas do it. And it's always interesting to see the different ways to do it. And when it comes to efficiency, I've seen guys use a handsaw, seen guys, run their skill saws down it. Maybe they have a larger skill saw. They'll run it right down in order to get that. And that works. That does the trick for sure. Or you can just be really old-fashioned about it and completely use hand saws the whole way, ripping this tenon. Now, obviously, we want to be able to combine fun with efficiency, and so I am going to be using the sawmill. Now, I bring up other guys because just a couple of years ago, two guys timber framing came onto YouTube and immediately started to enjoy their material, started to see that they were doing things with their sawmill that nobody else was doing. And that really was when it came to joinery. I was surprised to see that they were using a normal bandsaw mill in order to pull off the tenons on braces or the tenons on posts, even cutting out shoulder areas in order to put beams. I mean, just really incredible what they were doing. And I was surprised because on one level, it's brilliant. On another level, it seems so obvious. And I'm surprised as I think back on guys who have been timber framing and have sawmills that they weren't doing that. And again, it's one of those things that it's brilliant, but it's so obvious as well. And so really thankful to two guys timber framing for all of the content you guys have been putting out. Dan and Jay, you guys have done a great job. Really appreciate you guys and your friendship. But anyway, I owe a lot to you guys when it comes to this stuff. Now, this other jig that I have here is really more of a template, I guess I should call it. And this is going to lay down on our 3x5 material, and I'll be able to trace it right out, make our cuts, make our marks, and then that's going to help us speed up the process a little bit. Now, what I'm going to do is use the sawmill in order to get my 3x5 material, and then we'll go ahead and make our cuts, bring some of it back to the shop, I think. Still kind of working that out in my mind. But today is the send it day. I'm so sick and tired of saying I'm going to do this. It's just time to get rolling. So let's do that. As you can see, we're getting a really nice cut with these blades. I think these are Wood-Mizer double hards, and doing a good job. So at this point, I've got my 3x5s. I've got at least 5 of them right here. You're sitting on a couple of them. That will be in a second. I'm going to mill out the rest. And then what we'll do is we'll come back after I've milled out the rest. Now that you've already gotten a taste of that, I will mill out the rest. We'll come back. We'll throw the jig onto the mill and we'll start ripping our tendons. It's pretty amazing how much lighter the pine is than the hemlock. The pine's been cut for a whole lot longer, and so it's interesting to pick up those pine pieces is nothing, but the hemlock is, I mean, maybe 4 times heavier. It's so much heavier. Well, at this point, really all we need to do is trace. And so, simple as marking off of our template here. Now, I don't have a very big skill saw. I don't have anything beyond a normal size skill saw, and so I'm gonna have to bring these home and make cuts on these pieces on my chop saw, my compound miter saw. So that's what I'm gonna have to do. After I trace these out, we'll go back to the shop, make those cuts, and then we'll come back and we'll rip the tendons. My back is up against the clock a little bit, and there's a couple of things that make me have to move a little faster right now than I would like to. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of these back to the mill and show you exactly how to cut and to rip these tenons on there. But I'm going to cut the cheeks first while I'm here with the chop saw. We'll get those cut, and then we will bring it over there and rip those tenons and show you exactly how that's done. Let's get the satisfaction and get this thing off. That was a bummer. Look at that. Well, hey friends, that is 1 of 14, and I have a rainy day tomorrow, and so I'll be doing more of this inside work with these knee braces tomorrow, and then we'll be able to get them back to the mill and cut the cheeks again. And kind of a neat way to go about it. Really enjoyed learning that not that long ago, and implementing it now with my own timber frame really is satisfying. But hey, we'll try to keep the videos coming over the next week or two. Like I mentioned in yesterday's video, I do have the next couple of weeks off. I had mentioned something about daily videos. That's probably not realistic. But when I can, I'll put them out over the next couple of weeks. And I hope you enjoy following along. But hey, until next time, God bless you, and we'll see you then.